Today we're taking a look at the inaugural Crank Cross Cyclocross event in Madison Heights, Michigan. This is hosted by the Morning Cranks Cycling Club. And the reason that I'm here today is that a gentleman by the name of Steven Spry invited me on a comment on one of my other cyclocross, or my only other cyclocross video, the Detroit Invitational, which was also a great race. And I told him I'd be here. So I am here, and boy am I glad that I came and that he invited me because it was such a cool event. A couple of notes. This is only my second cyclocross race ever. I'm also going to be on a mountain bike, and I've never worn clipless pedals in an event like this. So I'm in the novice 30-minute race, the men's category. And I'm on the front. I'm ready to get underway here. They let us go, and the other riders get clipped in and are out of the gate a little bit faster. But I'm there too, right? 7th, 8th wheel. And I'm going to take you for an entire lap of this course. And then we'll look at the finer points of the race and how it went for me. But I want you to see the entire first lap, see what the course, see how the course was laid out, what's included, and see what a great job they did. I don't exactly know who laid this out or designed it. If you do know, maybe you can put it in the comments below, but they did a phenomenal job. It has all the things it should have to be a great cyclocross race. Now, if it had been raining, pouring down rain, it would have probably even added to the crazy, insane fun factor that you're having here. But having great weather and not being wet, also good. So, we're coming in to the first and probably hardest hairpin turn of the race. It's off camber, and you turn like 4 times on the side of a hill. So naturally, some people had some difficulties there. And I will also have difficulties later there. A little bit of foreshadowing. But I find myself in 3rd place. Now, the rider in first is quite a ways up the path here, and I want to catch him. So I'm going to push around this rider in second and make my way up to the rider in first. Eventually, his name is Patrick. He's riding great. He didn't get caught up in that little kerfuffle we had. And I'm leaning the mountain bike over. I am pushing it to its limits. And you could probably argue I'm going a little bit too hard here, but the excitement and adrenaline of being in the front of the race has got me all in. The group behind is a little bit split up, naturally, as happens in these types of races. And we're making our way around the back side of the course. There's a massive hill in this course, which you're going to see come into view here shortly, right there. Now we get to ride up that very soon. But it does separate kind of the back and front of the course. And this section is a nice chance to take a breather after that hard start. And I'm making up ground on this rider in first. I am catching up to him. The reason for that is because I'm riding so hard. Now I know that I have to climb that hill soon. So right here, I decide to ease up a little bit, try to breathe. Now, I was prepared to run up the steps. And by that, I mean these concrete steps that you're about to see right in front of us right here. The elite riders had to run up those. Now, I was prepared to do that, but fortunately, since we're in the novice division, we didn't have to do that. I was pretty relieved because I wasn't feeling super confident about jumping on and off my bike with the clipless shoes on just yet. So we do this 180 hairpin turn, and we make our way up this monster of a hill. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a path here to ride up, but it is pretty steep. I don't know like what the percentage would be, but it's hard. And it's a great place for people to watch because this is where people are going to be suffering the most on the course. Not technically hard, just physically painful. There's somebody up here with a horn, which is great. And then there's this guy who gives the rider in front of me a cup. I'm like, yeah, I'll have a cup. I'm thirsty. And it's beer, which is very much so in the spirit of cyclocross. Love it. But we made it to the top of the hill. Heart rate is through the roof. And I just want to take a few breaths now. This part was pretty sketchy. It's really off camber, and you turn back and forth down this hill that you just rode up. And definitely a couple of riders had lost their traction here and slid out as they come to the bottom of these turns. But fortunately, I'm on a mountain bike and did not have that problem. I did notice that I couldn't take the lines quite as tightly as these, cross riders could. I don't know if it was because my bars were too big or just like the slack of the angle of the forks just didn't let me turn as tight, but I had to take a different line on pretty much every corner. So we're flying down through this section. This is where I would hit about 20 miles an hour each time, and we're coming into this part where you should probably jump off, carry your bike over these boards. Being I'm on a mountain bike, I just hop one tire over, the other tire over, and I'm good to go. Now, pretty strong at this point in the race. Like, mentally there, physically still okay, so I was able to hop over those pretty comfortably this time. Now, I had parked kind of near this section of the course, so I had seen a lot of riders come through here. It's pretty twisty, pretty windy, but there's some sand coming up. Great use of what they've got to work with here. It's like a volleyball net court space, so we get to ride through that. Now, it had been rutted out, and a really good line had been made, but they cleaned it up after the previous race, so it was nice and fresh. And I don't know if you've ever tried to turn in sand. Super challenging. But the first time through, I get through and don't have to unclip. And I bring myself right up to Patrick's wheel, and I get to follow him through this twisty section of this course. You're probably thinking this is a long time to be on lap 1, but it's only going to be about seven-ish minutes that it takes me to do this first lap. I think it was 7:06 is what it took. If you're wondering, the elite riders were doing the same course with an additional challenging obstacle in like the 6:20, 6:30 range, if I remember correctly, which is mind-blowing. But we're on the wheel and we are drafting, because that is what I know how to do from gravel racing. And there is a headwind kind of from like the northeast, which we're now headed east, I think. But as we come up to the finish line, we'll be heading north, and I'm going to try to get tucked in and recover a little bit. And we're not there yet. We've still got a couple more turns. Now we're on the finish straight, and almost directly into the headwind at this point. And I'm feeling good. I don't know how many laps we're going to have to do. I know it's 30 minutes, but I'm feeling so good, in fact, that I decide to try to attack and take the lead of the race for a little while. So I fight my way up this hill, and the idea is just to put more distance between me and the pack behind, obviously, but to also have some freedom to ride any line that I wish. But Patrick comes back around me later in the race. We skip forward to the hill. This hill, again, was the most physically taxing part of this race. Also, you'll see there's another rider just behind us. I believe his name was Ansel, and I know that because everyone who was cheering was yelling his name. He's got a ton of fans around this course, and I see why. Look at this. He bridges up to Patrick on this hill, no problem. I think he just coasted for a second there as he caught up to him. And it's not like I'm not trying. I mean, I'm probably doing 350, 400 watts here. And I slowly claw my way back onto their wheels. I know if I can just get to their wheels during this technical downhill section, I will be okay. I do pass up the beer this time because I can't breathe, and I certainly won't be able to take any liquids on. We skip forward to the board section. Now, I was getting so tired, I was losing my handling, and my wheel smacks this board as I cross it. We're going to look at it again. I smack it, and I almost endo over the bars. I throw my hand up in celebration of not crashing and continue on. I did make a note of that for the future laps because that was a pretty scary feeling, almost going over the bars. End of lap 2, start of lap 3. Again, drafting. Now, he's not giving me nearly as much draft as Patrick did, but I'll take it. I'm going to need it. I can tell that he is a good rider, and I think he mentioned at the start of the race that he was leading the men's novice series for the Cyclocross series here in Michigan. So I know he's a good rider, and that when we get back to this hill, which we're coming up to right now, he is going to rocket away from me. Now, I was prepared for this, but I was not prepared to put out the effort necessary to stay with him. I'm spinning to win, right? If I stand up and put too much torque through my legs, I'm going to blow up for the rest of the race, so I've got to spin. But look at him, he's gone. I mean, he's putting like seconds into me by the foot. So we skip forward to the sand section. That rider in first is long gone, and I'm just trying to make my way through this course now, keep my second place position. I do have to unclip there, didn't make it all the way through the sand. Tried to lean into it, just didn't work. So there's the first place rider. He's a little bit further in the course, and this is to show you just how far off of his wheel I was. I mean, he's a good 3-4 corners ahead of me.
Yeah, go Travis!
I'm making my way through. Still in second place currently. Alright, that was the end of lap 3. We're coming into the final lap. We only ended up doing 4 laps, and this is where my handling really goes down the drain. I run right into this pole. I don't remember if my wheel slipped out or what happened, but this corner claimed me as a victim as well. I had to walk up there. I do get over these boards okay. I hop over, you can kind of see what I was doing there, just one wheel at a time. I mean, the mountain bike kind of allowed for that, so I felt good about that. I was probably going a bit too slow into this sand section, but this turn was not letting me almost go down again. It was just not letting me ride out of it. Not a big deal. We don't go all the way down and get back in the power. So now, I am very close to the finish. I am going to get second place. I am good. And then I look down and my chain has come off of the front sprocket. So I stop and I'm trying to fix it. I cannot get it back on and then at the same time spin the cranks so it'll like get all the way back on the sprocket. So you're seeing second place is gone. I'm now in third. And now Patrick comes by me, so I'm in fourth place. And I'm just sitting here trying to fix my bike. Yeah, Patrick afterwards said I should have just ran it in. That probably would have been smart. I get back on and I'm fighting, right? We're just too close to the finish. I'm not going to be able to make up those spots. But that's okay. I still had the time of my life out there riding my bike. Still finished fourth place, which there's like 31 people in this race. So that's pretty sweet. So we roll it in, and that is the end of my race. This was an awesome event. I'll absolutely come back next year. The Batter Waffle Company had chicken and waffles. We had some of those. They were amazing, tasted delicious. I just got home and finally got to go through the swag bag for the Cyclocross race. One of the things was dog treat, which it came in actual packaging. All right, this, which, there you go. Okay. All right, have fun with that. Awesome, right? Another dog treat. Sticker, sunglasses, this fuel thing, which they also gave away. A can of this of fuel. There was like an energy one. I took the recovery one because I thought it would be good for after the race. It's in the freezer now, getting cold. But also, I really enjoy like those little scratch off lottery tickets, you know. So they put like a $1 one in this swag bag and it won $7. I mean, how cool is that, right? Love it. Maybe the best bag I've ever received at a race. Just throwing it out there.